All right, now without the accent or the fictitious character, I'm going to show you some daytime magic that's typical for me. I believe people should have training and experience, but for solitary practitioners, that can be hard to get. I have attended a magic circle for a little while. At some point, the group disbanded, and they also suggested I am more spiritual and New Age and Buddha oriented, so I sort of left that. But don't let gatekeepers make you feel that magic is not available to you. It's available to everyone. Um, you'll learn like the significance. It's pretty obvious if you go into a magic shop, the significance of a black candle bearing the model of a couple, meaning this couple should be disbanded, or red candle for the same, meaning you want to attract a mate, or maybe even lure in a particular one, which I don't suggest. But yeah, the red candle is for attraction and manifestation, whereas those black candles of the same type are for repelling and banishing. Today's magic is just calling the deities in the four directions. I mentioned cowboying in and doing it without that. I would say this is a good step to invite kindred spirits, to invite those that can assist you. Probably the better idea when you're doing magic, because you're actually casting a circle, and if you don't cast a circle in that way, then you're not really holding magical space. So we're gonna set that up. This is a good moon for growth, so I think we'll plant some seeds, we'll germinate some bean seeds and see how they do, and plant them if possible in soil. This would have been good for Beltane. Beltane is 2 days, by the way. It was the last day of May and the last day of April and the first day of May. So Saturday and Sunday of last week would have been Beltane. And I didn't plant the seeds that day. I didn't remember to, but I have experienced forward momentum in my life, and this is Mother's Day too, so it's a significant day for people. May 8th, and significant to other people that I know who also reported, that I'm related to, reported interesting things happening, and sort of the opportunity to meet with Eckhart Tolle and that sort of thing. So this is very simple magic, very simple folk magic, and you're just getting started where I'm getting started. This is not graduate level magic at all, okay? It's not even graduated magic. This is just the very beginning. That's where I am today with you. And in later years, if you participate, if you do some of these things, you can look back with me and see that they actually work. So when I wrote down spells for Beltane, as I talked about in the last time, they were things set in the present moment, or set as in I am receiving, I am getting, this is happening, this is unfolding, this is going to happen. I'm not always comfortable using the hypnotic suggestions like I've gotten, because my mind, being very rational, denies that any of that is true, and it never happens that way. When I say I have this salary, I live in this place already, I sometimes use that language, but I find it problematic sometimes because the mind resists and prevents it from happening. So spells are not exactly prayers. You have more power in spells. You assume the power and control, and you see it as something that's setting initiative for you, just like hypnosis, hypnotic suggestions. They set initiative for you, and I incorporate those as well. Yeah, with mind magic as part of mind magic. So mind magic is fairly simple. It is what you make it. Other magic has rules. Working with deities has rules. I would like to learn some of these. I mentioned not planning to read the grimoire. That particular grimoire is geared to young adults. It's rather juvenile, but I might read that in order to understand the basics. But there's many, many books on Wicca, on anything, and all of those books help with the basics because you're going to need your Book of Shadows and your grimoire. You're going to need both. And I haven't put mine together. So in that way, by not having those records, I'm not necessarily in it yet. I'm half-assing it yet in the beginning. And you can half-ass it. But results are empirically better if you don't. So at some point I'll start a grimoire, writing a grimoire and keeping record of magical practices that I'll use. And the other one is the Book of the Shadows, which I believe is a record of sort of spells you're doing and things like that. I have to look into that more. But yeah, by no means am I professional. I'm just sharing with you open practices that I do. I'm not at a point where I do closed practices yet, and so I'm happy to share with you what I'm doing. So let's set up and invite the 4 directions, the guardians of all of the directions and the guides of all of the directions, and we'll smudge in. This is preferable for most people. Something like this, sweetgrass, is preferable to white sage. The indigenous people are asking us not to use white sage if we're not indigenous. In some cases, people will give you permission. I believe that a couple of different indigenous people have given me permission to use this. However, I don't intend to buy any after this runs out. I can do something like this or something like this or Palo Santo, even though it doesn't burn as well. Palo Santo is rather rare and kind of endangered, so that's not necessarily a better substitute either. Anyway, we'll light the sage. As much as it will light, and I probably should take a knife or something and get rid of the burnt parts, but I'm smudging myself, smudging in. Smudging the space a little bit. And that sets intention. And then the only candle I have is this one, so we'll light it because you should always light candles for spells and magic from what I understand. That's part of the process. But I suppose I'll invite the 4 corners first, so guardians and guides of the north, attend me here. Guardians and guides of the east, attend me here. Guardians and guides of the south, attend me here. Guardians and guides of the west, attend me here. So now we've set our space and we've set our circle. If I was to leave this circle during the ceremony, I should make a cut with the athame. I don't have an athame, but I have a piece of driftwood, which works just as well for me and is charged with natural energy. This is another example of something that I would use as a wand before I would purchase a wand. Other people are different, would would hurry to purchase crystal wands and such, that's fine too. I always like to have incense burning. I only have a blank incense right now. According to the Chinese fortune calendar, May 9th is not good for travel. That's all it says about today. No, that's Monday, sorry. Today is May 8th, and as you can see, there are many dark forms there. Not a particularly good day for business, marriage and relationships, moving house, traveling, or remodeling, or handiwork. So it's kind of a sketchy day as far as that goes, but I don't always find this to be accurate for me. And then there are like conflict animals and stuff and such. And on May 9th, it's like dragon versus dog. Dragon versus dog. I don't really know what that means. I know that I'm a rat, so I'm not really in that mess. All right. So there are some Tao cards. I have a deck of I have a deck here of tarot cards. I could choose to use divination at this point during the time that I have these friendly beings summoned in my space, and they can guide me on some of that. Other than that, I have school assignments to do today. I'm going to sit there at a computer. I'm going to cut myself a hole in the space, sit there at the computer and work on my assignment, and use this magical energy to do that. I'm also planning to, while they're here, go ahead and germinate a couple seeds just by taking paper towel, wetting it up, putting it in a bag, and putting the seeds in it and storing it in a dark drawer. And in a few days, it will start to grow roots. And according to the magical calendar, those plants have the potential to prosper. We'll see. All right, I feel kind of pretty good. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to summon some of the Huna symbols I've learned. I've been initiated in a few basic Huna symbols. If you haven't been initiated in them, you shouldn't do them. That's why I'm not providing that as an open practice. So I'm going to do that off camera. Summon a couple of the elemental Huna symbols and their corresponding energies or deities or whatever. And then I'm going to initiate Reiki using some of the symbols I was initiated with, the Choku Rei at least, to get my Reiki started and to sort of, that's the source of magic for me. And then, I don't know, we'll go from there. What are we trying to do? We're trying to continue on the work already done. We're asking the deities to raise the energy to continue the work that I should get out of this space, because there are too many oppressors around here. You don't see them, but I have socio-political oppression here that I want to get rid of. There is a kind of dark coven against me here. I don't know. There's a band of dark entities and people that are around here. Look at that. They at least covered up the. Those are 5D. That's a 5D base station on the next apartment block. They at least covered it up so it looks kind of less conspicuous. I think the original last version, it would have been a 4. I said 5D. That shows you I don't care about telecommunications. No, 5G. And before that, it would have been a 4G, at least, or older unit. And that one was kind of, I think I got more radioactive and electromagnetic energy from that older one, and it looked really ugly. And then they revised it and did that for 5G. I'm assuming that's my best understanding, but from what it looks like, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. So that's just from based on what I gathered. So that's another reason why I'm out of this neighborhood, not into it. Having a 5G base station as a neighbor can probably be a bad idea. So I'm letting that go. I'm letting this apartment go. Why? As you can see, I'm in transition now, so it looks really disorganized. But even when I'm not in transition, it seems like I have a hard time keeping the place neat because of the dimensions of space and because of the different furniture I have or don't have, and because I have too much stuff, and because I'm not having time to organize it and stuff like that. So I'm asking the deities to help me with that. I'm asking the universe to help me with that. The universal law, I've put it into writing. I've burned it. This is the only rope I have. I was instructed by this little book to create knots, do a spell where I was chanting a poem and tying knots in this, which happens, as you can probably tell, this is wick or beeline. It's used to light marijuana, but instead of using it for that, I tied it into knots, and then I made a little ball of it, and then I burned that up after I burned the document up. And so putting my wishes into the universe in various ways. Wish number one, to move on with my life, to get the next chapter going, to get out of this place where I'm kind of in stasis. I don't know, there's certain reasons why, and I won't get into that, but there was some struggle here. I'm the kind of guy likes to be on the move, likes to travel, likes to continue going on my way. As you can see, it's a good day to move on the 29th at the end of the month, and the 30th. Good day to get out of here. So it might happen. I have to give a little bit of notice. Let's look at July or June, right? June, same thing. By end of the month, good day for getting out of here. So it's in the cards. The universe is with us, and I have had a couple of different opportunities come up in the last week since doing this and since setting these intentions, where it looks like I can get out of here despite bad credit, despite a number of different obstacles, can move on to the next level because magic works. So that's all that I'm going to provide publicly, but even though I'm going to stop the video and continue on privately, I'm not doing much in the way of ritual. I'm not doing much in the way, and I encourage ritual because it can be a very strong part of magic, and it's really, but you have to work up to that, to where you're able to do ritual. You know the incantations, you know how to work with it. Again, we're at the very basic level. The assumption is, if you're watching this, you're probably at the very beginning, just like me. And the assumption is, if you stay with it, it will do something. Just like practice of any kind always benefits people. So we'll smudge with this sweetgrass. I suppose that's lemongrass over there, and this is sweetgrass. I think that's the distinction. So lemongrass, I think, and sweetgrass, and then that would be sage, white sage, which we're not encouraged to use, but there's other types of sage that are apparently okay to use, permission or not. And now, yeah, I don't have anything else to say. As you can see, getting a cleaner space, better feng shui, and better zen. Even though this is a transitory period for me, it's not always as horrible as this. I've taken everything off that shelf in order to sell that shelf and everything. I'm looking for a better space where it's furnished the way I like, where I'm able to keep order to it. I'm able to organize it. It doesn't look like shit, and I don't have all these extra superfluous things. And I also want to give up that dual monitor computer system, which is here for a job. I don't want it. I just assume not have equipment in my house from a job. But anyway, that there could still be other equipment on the next job in my house. So I've set these intentions to the universe, disbanding with some people that I don't like, banishing relationships that are toxic, and so on. Other than that, it's private and personal, and it's in that writ, and I have that stored digitally. I can read that now to remind myself and to remind the Tao, the universe, the universal law, to bring that forward. And then there are a couple of things, incantations and things we can do in here that are good for raising wealth and energy and things like that. This is copyright, so I shouldn't be showing you the inside of this. That's it for now, and thanks for watching.